and welcome to the Pep Talk. I am here sitting with Belinda, owner of High Tea Bakery, and someone that I have known for a little while, but just kind of distantly, but you were always so nice to me. Oh. So, Belinda, please introduce yourself and how long has the bakery been here? All the little things of Belinda.
The little things. So my name's Belinda Bijot. I own High Tea Bakery. Started with my mom back in 2003. So it's actually been 17 years now, which is crazy. Like, I don't even know how that happened. But yeah, I started it with her as I thought I was building her a job. I had zero experience in baking, and my degree's in fine arts, so I have zero background in bakeries or restaurants or any of that. I just was in my 20s and cocky, and I thought I'm like, yeah, you're good at baking, I can build you a bakery, no problem. So that's what I did. Wow.
Well, and for anyone that doesn't know, if you're crazy enough to have not tried an imperial cookie or a cookie from here, she's in St. James on Portage, so we're really, really proud and happy to have her here in St. James. I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, but you'll meet like a business owner, and sometimes you're disappointed. You're disappointed because there's a lot of, I don't know, snootiness or not a lot of relatability, all these things. I never felt that from you. I was like asking, like, can you basically make me, hi, I don't know you, can you make me 1,000,000 cookies for like yesterday and they need to look like bears? I mean, you're just so...
I forgot about that, yeah.
I was hoping she'd forget about it. But like, you were just so kind and always so approachable, and it honestly just instantly made me think like, this is the place I'm gonna come to every time we need an order, because it's just that personality I wanted to deal with and be supportive. Do you find people surprised that you're so kind and just like easygoing?
I don't know. I mean, I definitely have had the other, like what you say, you know, when you have a certain image of a place and you go in and they don't give you the time of day and you're just sort of like, that's rotten.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Yeah.
And I wanted it to be a fun experience, and it's not. And so I think I do care a lot about that. But I'm always still surprised when people notice it. So I always tell my staff, I'm like, just work on the assumption that everybody who walks through that door has just had the worst day of their week. You know?
Oh, I love that advice.
If you assume that, then even if they're a little snippy or if you're out of their favorite thing, and it's probably because it was just the one thing they were looking forward to that day, and you don't have it. And that's sad.
I love that advice though, but maybe that should just be life advice.
Exactly.
Whenever you're running into people, just imagine sometimes that they're not having a great day, and like it could be an opportunity for you to give them a smile, to give them good customer service just in life. But I love to ask people who has inspired them and who has made them feel like they could get to where they're at right now and be who they are.
I think for me, I mean, for sure it's my family. But I'm Gemini, so I have a bit of a split personality thing, and I think it comes a lot from my parents. Like, my dad was the biker, so he taught me rebellion, and he taught me to not conform, and, you know, all of these things. He's the guy, he's the wild one. And then my mom is the wallflower hippie. So still counterculture, which is, you know, and when you think back to the 60s and that, like, they're the original counterculture duo.
You had said something prior to our interview that females are so much harder on themselves, and especially as an entrepreneur, as a parent, do you feel like maybe it's partly your role too, and that's maybe why you're so kind or whatnot, just to help females, empower females? Like, is there something, a part of your strategy that you're trying to do that's on purpose?
I think I am, yeah, most definitely, because, yeah, when I was younger, I was exceptionally shy, which people find strange. Everybody always looks at me now and is like, you were shy? I'm like, yeah, I literally didn't speak. In kindergarten, they put me with the other kid who didn't talk, and we invented a sign language just so we wouldn't have to talk to anybody, let alone each other. So I was always super shy that way, but...
That's creative, though. Yeah, I was going to say, your creativity started at a young age.
But, yeah, I hate to see it. I hate to look back and think, oh, you missed out on a lot because you were so convinced that you didn't belong there. Just don't see why you need to push others down to get up.
Yeah.
And in fact, the older I get, the more it's kind of neat in that you know, I look at my staff and I look at those coming up, and my whole goal at High Tea is to put myself out of a job, right? If I can train them to be better than me and I'm irrelevant, then I've finally done my job right. And I'm not quite there yet, but I feel like, you know, the more I can give them, it's better for High Tea, it's better for them, and in the end, it's better for me because it means I can relax and be at home with my kid, and then I'm a happy camper, right?
You are a parent running a business.
I am.
Challenges. Is it a breeze? You know?
Oh God, no. I mean, especially these days with social media, it's just so much of a judgy, competitive. Like, it's like mommyhood has become an Olympic sport, and everyone's out to win, and I just, it's not my cup of tea, that's for sure. Like, being a parent is definitely the hardest thing I've ever done, right? And I couldn't have kids, so we had to adopt, which I was super happy about in the end, because, you know, I got the child that was absolutely meant to be with me, I think. I love that kid to death. But, you know, when it first happened, it came as such a surprise. I didn't have this 9 months to plan. Like, we did an open adoption, and so we had matched with a potential birth mother, and within, I don't even think it was 3 weeks, there was a baby in my arms, and we were like, wow. And everybody leaves, and you're kind of, my husband and I are like, so I guess someone should go buy diapers or something, right? Like,
does the baby come with a manual, or like?
It was actually really cool when I got the call that he'd been born. It was I was serving a customer at the front counter of our old, like when we were down at 941 Portage, very early in the bakery years, and I burst into tears. My mom burst into tears. The girl I was serving was just cried too, and it turns out she was also adopted. And so in seeing my reaction and how much she said, she got in the car, and she actually became a friend and is still a customer to this day, but she went in her car and she called her mom, and they had a big cry, and it was all this bonding thing and everything, right? But then I got into that thing of like, oh, I'm gonna be the mom that can do both and everything, right? And you're trying to, you've got a toddler, and people are like, oh, and everybody sees a bakery too as kind of this sweet thing. Everybody's like, baking with grandma, oh, isn't it cute? No, bakeries are like, go faster, you can't, like, it is hard manual labor, and you work really long hours, and in the early years especially, like, we'd be there till midnight. It's always hard, and you're always trying to find this balance between the two, and I think the hardest thing we have as women, and especially as entrepreneurs, is learning to say no. Everybody, I mean, as an entrepreneur, constantly know what you should do. You know what you should do. Oh yeah, there's no shortage of things I should do, and trust me, I'm a kind of a creative mind. There's no shortage of things I've thought of. Right. The to-do list is already 10 billion miles long. Yeah. The hardest part of running a business is seeing an amazing idea, an amazing opportunity, and being like, not gonna pass. It's not right for me right now, right? Not right for me, not right for my family, not right for me as a parent, not right for me as an entrepreneur, whatever it is. To say no to something is the absolute hardest thing to do, and yet the most imperative skill to learn, because without it, you are a basket case.
Yeah. You know, as you were just talking, I thought I was like visualizing like this, like the list of all these ideas. And what I think is interesting as a parent is that the family part on your list, it never comes off your list. And so it's not like, oh, well, if I could just maybe not do these couple things on the list, I can fit in these other good ideas. The family one never comes off, and as it shouldn't. And sometimes I think we do, we're trying to do it so much, like we're trying to do everything, that it does kind of fall off a bit, and you realize that's the one thing that should not come off the list. And I've had a hard time with myself in that too, and honestly, because of COVID, I've learned, I'm like, oh, they were a little bit off the list, I didn't even realize it. So
yeah, I think COVID has been good for a lot of people in that way, in that you're kind of forced back in, and then you're sort of like, yeah, now I need time away too.
I know, it's so true.
I think the most important thing I've learned, and I don't know if it works for everybody, but it's defining what success means to you. Because especially with Instagram and all of that, you can look at these other people and these other, whether it's bakeries or whether it's a retail shop or whatever you're building, And you need to know that that person's idea of success is not going to be the same as yours. My idea of success isn't money. You know, I pay myself the same as I pay my managers. So I've never looked at owning a business as, oh yeah, I get the big paycheck and everybody else gets, I just pay myself the same as my managers. But what that means is my idea of success is being able to travel and being able to take time off. I live for travel. And so, you know, I'll take 3 months off and disappear and backpack around the South Pacific with my husband and my 8-year-old. And then I come back and am I a millionaire? No. But I'm traveling and I'm owning my business and I'm doing what I want out of it. That's how I've defined my success.
I love that idea because it looks different to everyone, and if you're trying to achieve the next person besides you's success, it's like trying to eat someone else's ice cream when you don't even like their flavor. Like you need to figure out what
isn't, and you know, especially with Instagram. Like I met a bunch of bakers recently, and each of them was kind of early in their startup phase, and they're on Instagram and they're looking at these people with 100,000 followers. I'm like, but you want to make cookies, and that's the only thing. Like some of them were even part-time cookie makers, and I'm like, you want to make cookies, right? Do you want to be an Instagram star, or do you want to make cookies? Like, which one is it? Do you want to make money, or like, which part of this is what you're wanting? Because if you're comparing yourself to the person who wants fame, that's not the same as the person who wants to make cookies, which is not the same as the person who wants to travel, and not the same as the person who wants to be the mom.
I just love this chat with you. I thought we were going to talk about like cookies and stuff, which also really is great. But this has been so great. I want to end with something for you. I have a little bit of like a quick series of questions that you have to answer really, really quick.
Oh God, I'm terrible at quick.
Okay.
Ready.
All right. What is the birthday of your son?
December 6th.
Okay. Favorite baked good?
This week, pavlova.
Ooh. Favorite Winnipeg business?
Oh, that's hard because I do business with so many other businesses and I love them all. I am a huge fan of Amanda at Cole and Canary. I think she just does an amazing job.
She does an amazing job.
And everybody.
That's so nice. Favorite collaboration?
That would have to be our ongoing one with Prairie Theater Exchange. We do cookies for their opening night, always, and they have supported us literally since day one, the day we opened.
Okay, last one. If you could choose one word to describe a working mom, what would it be?
Stressed.
Stressed! That's real.
That's
real talk with
I'd
Belinda.
like to say it's all lovey-dovey and everything, but no, I spend most of my time stressed.
Beautiful and rewarding. Stressed. It's okay, guys. You've heard it from Belinda's mouth. Thank you so much for being here.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. I know everyone else does. And good luck with this holiday season and everything. It will be great. And
shoot me now.
Yeah, be patient. Order early, and just lots of understanding. But I mean, I can smell it here, so I can appreciate if you come in and you want something. You might get a little. I'm talking about myself right now. If the imperial cookies are not there, I'm out of here. All right.